Live action, guys. Live action. Dr. Pinesett here. And we are live on two platforms right now. We are live on TikTok. We are also live on YouTube. I'm trying something new. I'm going to get back to how we used to do it, guys. On the whiteboard, teaching, educating, helping you guys get better. If this is your first time seeing me, I am Dr. Andre Pinesett. I'm the study doc, and I'm always helping students be more productive, be more positive, and achieve their goals. And today we're talking about 3 steps for your best semester ever. Your best semester ever. And for a lot of you guys, maybe this past semester was supposed to be your best ever and you didn't quite get there. Or it was good, it was better, but it wasn't quite where you wanted to be. And so we're going to talk about 3 key steps you can take to make sure that next semester truly is better, truly is different from what you've been experiencing. And the first step, guys, we're going to start it out, is the past step. Past. Can everybody see this? Neha, what up? Bradford, what is going on? Right? The past. So many times, guys, that we want to, let's see what this does. Oh, I can see comments right here. Oh, this is fancy. So many times, guys, we go through things that are difficult, right? And we want to say, everyone says, put the past behind you. Just forget it. Just get rid of it. Don't worry about it. And that's the wrong philosophy, guys, if we want to be better, if we want to change for the positive. The first step is, in fact, to acknowledge that the past has happened, that the past has occurred. We have to look at it and we have to reflect on it critically. And we have to ask ourselves a couple key questions. You guys ready? So when we examine the past and what happened this past semester, we first must ask ourselves, what happened? What the heck went down? What went wrong? What was the outcome that was less than what I wanted? So maybe you took 4 classes and you got an A, 2 Bs, and you got a D, right? So clearly the issue there is that we got the D. And the 2 Bs are kind of worrisome, right, if you're among my pre-med folks. But the D is the big issue. So we have our past, okay? What happened? Well, what happened is we got a D and 2 Bs. That's a problem, okay? We identify it. We say, what happened? Now we ask ourselves the second question, which is, well, why? How did I let that happen? How did I create that outcome? How did I contribute to this problem? And one of the key things that I'm always stressing with you guys, if you guys listen to me, is that it's always your fault. And the reason that we say it's always our fault, we always take all the blame, is because that we are able to change ourselves, right? But we're not able to change other people. It's one of the big things that I fight back, against. I'm sorry for declining your live. I got to teach right now. I'll bring you on in a second. Give me a second. If you guys want to jump on live with me, I'm on TikTok right now at the Study Doc. We're on YouTube right now also. If you guys want to jump on live, give me a second. Let me get started. Let me get going. And then you guys can ask some questions, right? Because we're here to learn today. You guys are here to learn. Like the video right now. Let me know you guys are here to learn. You guys are here to get better with what we're talking about. So this D and this 2 Bs. So we talk about taking on the blame. And so oftentimes you guys will hear me push back against people who say, oh, the system is rigged or this or that. And they blame systemic factors. And the reason I'm so against systemic factors is they are so difficult to change, right? We talk about increasing diversity in medicine, but we can't do it because the system is so hard to change, right? We talk about the fact that, oh man, my teachers suck. How many of you guys, right? You guys all presumably go to separate schools. How many of you guys can raise your hand right now and say, listen, last semester I had a crappy teacher. I had a teacher who didn't serve me well, who didn't make me feel like I was getting my tuition's worth from them. How many of you guys feel that way? How many of you guys feel like, man, I was directly sabotaged by a teacher? They told me one thing, I got to the test, it was a whole nother thing. How many of you guys have been there, right? Light the box up right now. We're live action. What's going on, Justice? What's going on, Steven? Right? How many of you guys have been there? And the question I'll ask you guys is do you have any control over who your teacher is? Do you have any control over how well they teach? Do you have any control over these systemic racist factors? No, you don't. You don't have any control over any of those things. All you can control is what you do. And so we ask ourselves, right? We say, me. How did I contribute to this? How did I make this happen? How am I the problem? Because that's something you can change. You always have control over yourself, even though a lot of us relinquish it, right? How many of you guys relinquish control over your lives to other people? Either on purpose or accidentally, right? You're like, oh man, I'm gonna think about this. What did you do? Okay, I'll do that too, right? Or you allow other people, right, to be the crutches holding you up. And so you're dependent on those people. So we have to figure out how we can become independent. And start saying, well, how did I contribute to this D and this 2 Bs, right? And maybe it was, you know what? Maybe I should have went to office hours more. Because you know what? It turns out in the lecture, There wasn't a whole lot happening, but in office hours, man, they gave great insight. I heard that from somebody else. Oh, you know what, actually? I didn't spend enough time studying. I spent a lot of time saying I was going to do stuff, but then I didn't really get around to ever doing it, right? And that's a problem. So we look for a factor of why it happened and then how it happened. So for example, if you say, you know what, it happened because I didn't go to office hours enough, right? Well, then why? Why did it happen? Well, you know what? Office hours are too far. Okay, well, I'm living off campus. Maybe I should move back on campus. Maybe that will help me out, right? And we can think about it that way, right? So why did it happen? How did it happen? We have to ask ourselves, what's the delta mean? Who knows what the delta means? Maria says, I have, right? You've been in that situation. What does the delta mean, guys? Change. What can I change? So oftentimes, when I talk about things that we can blame and that we should blame, it's things that we are able to change. Well, we can say, oh, I got a D and 2 Bs, but it's because of this. But then it only matters if we can change it. It only matters if we can change it. So you have to ask yourself, is this something that I can attack, something I can change? If you're a poor student and you have to work a job, that's not something you can change. And like we can get into the specifics and talk about how you could alter that, right? And do other things to be more efficient. But overall, you're going to have to be a working student. So just saying, oh, you know what, dang, you know what, I worked too much and that's why my grades sucked. That's an insufficient blame. That's an insufficient assignment of guilt because you're going to have to work regardless. So you can't change that. Oh, wait, is it flipped on here? Let's see. How do I, what does that do? Okay, hold on. This is my first time on TikTok, guys. Can I get a like for trying something new? Let's see. Okay, did that work? Are we frontwards? I know you guys on YouTube are good. Somebody said on YouTube we're good, but someone said the words are flipped on TikTok. Are we back in business? Right? For time number 1, can I get a like just for, again, I'm branching out. You guys know I'm rigid as all get out. I'm routinized. But I'm trying something new today. Is it working now? Let me know you guys can see it. Okay, it worked. All right, so now we know. Next time, I have to flip the screen for my TikTokers. Okay? Past is number 1. I got a D and 2 Bs. What happened? Why did it happen? How did it happen? It was me. Is it a changeable element? Because if it's not changeable, then we can't make next semester different. If we have to work, we have to work. So what can be changed? Okay? That's the past. So we have to not ignore the past. We look at that past. We reflect on that past. The next thing we're going to do, guys, after we acknowledge the past. Everybody with me with the past? Everybody's here? How many of you guys have ignored the past and said, I'm just going to move on. It's going to be better next time. Okay? Next up is the present. The present. Be present in the moment. Hi, YouTubers. What's up? I neglected you guys as I went and fixed TikTok over here. How's YouTube doing? If you guys don't know, I got wonderful videos on my YouTube channel. Nice long videos for you guys. Okay, that worked. Victor says it worked on TikTok. Perfect. Okay. The present. Be present in the moment. So a lot of us, right, we spend our winter break either stuck in the past, angry at ourselves, right, having that whole pity party, or a lot of us just go right on to next semester and blaze on and it's happy, happy, joy, joys, whatever. But we don't really do what we have to do over the break to set ourselves up for success in the future. And so what I want you guys to do is to acknowledge this present, to be present, and to ask yourself these couple questions here. As you guys can see, I'm a doctor and I'm not an artist. That's a heart, okay? That's a heart. What do I love to do? What do I love to do? What would you guys do if you guys had a free day? What would you love to do, right? How would you want to spend that time? For me, I love to spend time with my kids. I love it. So I would do that. I love to teach students, so I would teach. Today's my off day, right? It's Sunday, but I'm teaching, right? I spend my days doing what I love, right? So we ask ourselves, what do I love to do? And we try to spend our break doing what we love to do because that's going to get to the next question, which is, this is a battery. That's an electricity rod there, right? What recharges me? So what do I love to do and what recharges me? What rejuvenates me? What's going to get me back up to full? Because how many of you guys after finals week are depleted? How many of you guys after finals week, right? All your energy is zapped, right? All your motivation. Everything's down to 0. I stayed up late cramming, right? My crammers, where my crammers at? I'm cramming. We got to stop that, right? And we got to recharge. So what would recharge us? Because some of you guys like to drink, and that's okay. I like to drink too. But does drinking recharge you, or do you just feel kind of like, ooh, man, I feel kind of lethargic. I shouldn't have that extra shot, right? So we want to pick activities that we love, but also that recharge us, that rejuvenate us, and then also what makes us smile. We should smile more. Who wishes they could smile more? I try to smile all the time. To smile, right? How good does it feel to you guys when you just smile? When you let that out, right? What makes you smile? What brings a smile to your face? What brings a smile to your face? My kids doing well brings a smile to my face. We was at SeaWorld earlier today. Smile on my face, y'all, to see them wonder as Shamu jumps through the air. I know, I saw Blackfish, guys. I know, I'm a bad person for going to SeaWorld. But the reality is, guys, this is a topic for another day. But with cancel culture, we've lost nuance, right? People say, oh, cancel SeaWorld. But the reality is that SeaWorld does way more good than they do bad. Yes, they explored the whales. True. But how many animals every year does SeaWorld save? So I give them my dollars to save the animals. Anyway, being present. What do I love? What will recharge me? What will make me smile? That's how I'm going to spend my break. And actually spend a good solid at least week doing that. Because too many of you guys go from one semester to the next semester and you never give yourself that time to use that break as it was intended, which is to regroup. How many of you guys take on projects over winter break? Okay, I'm done with school right now. I can focus on this project. I can focus on doing this. And so you spend those 2, 3, 4, even 6 weeks for some of you guys in the semester system wearing yourself down more, but where's the rejuvenation? Crystal, hello, right? Where's the rejuvenation? So we got to be present, and we got to find things that are going to recharge us so we can go strong that next semester. Then we're going to look to future selves, and we're going to start asking ourselves the very, very important questions, right? Because now we saw what we did wrong. We saw that it's changeable, that it's all our fault. We're going to take this break and we're going to recharge ourselves with the energy to make the change, right? How many of you guys have taken physics? Right? How many of you guys have taken chemistry? If I want to change, right, in a chemical reaction, if I want to change states, if I want to change things, I want a reaction to happen, right? What has to happen to make a reaction happen? I just gave it away, huh? Dang it. Live action, y'all. Live action, Dr. Pinesett here, guys. We're talking about 3 steps for a better semester. But if we want a reaction to change, to go from reactants to products, what must happen, y'all? What must happen? What is required for a reaction to happen? Yes. Who's this? Adria Mygale. I think that is. I can't. Difficulty reading my old eyes. Add energy. We have to add energy. Well, if we don't, right, see what we were, our substrate, right, our reactants, and we don't recharge to put the energy back into our system, we can't then create the product, the output we want the next semester. Does that make sense, everybody? Reactants, energy in the middle, and then we get a product on the back end. Okay? That's what we have to do in that future box. And so for the future box, what we're going to talk about is now change. This is what I was. This is what I want to be. So X marks the spot. What's our goal? What's our objective? What are we trying to obtain? So we did a D and 2 Bs. This semester, I want to have, instead of 1 A, 2 Bs, and a D, I want to have 2 A's and 2 Bs. Or I want to have 2 A's and a B and a C, something like that, right? We say that. We want to have some improvement. You don't just have straight A's. Don't set yourself up for failure. You're not going to go from this to straight A's. It's hard to do that. But let's set ourselves up to win. Let's say 2 A's, a B, and a C. That's a win. Okay? Or 2 A's and 2 B's. What do we want in the future? What's our goal? Because if we don't identify a goal, where we're trying to go, we cannot get there. Right? If you don't know the destination, MapQuest can't save you, can't get you there. Apple Maps, whatever it is. Right? So what do I want to get? Where do I want to get? Then we want to ask ourselves 2 questions. The first question, to get the ball rolling, is what is the small, the easy change I can make? What's easy about what I did wrong that I can fix with a snap of my fingers? What's an easy change that I can make to get better grades next semester? We look at ourselves. What's the easy change? Because change is hard. So we want to start with something that we know we can do, something that's easy, something that makes us feel good. What's the small or easy change that we can make to get stuff done? The small or easy change. What is it, y'all? right? Ask yourself that question, because that'll get you feeling good. Like, man, I can do that for sure. And if I can do that, I can definitely do better. And then we'll have good, positive, happy feelings going into that next semester. And you guys know, right? Positivity, man, it's powerful, because a positive brain, an energized brain, an engaged brain is a brain that's going to learn well. So we want to be in a positive state of mind, create our momentum with this small, easy change. Okay, I know I can do that. Okay, then we want to pick one big / hard change. And it can be small too, but something that's harder to change. So we want to challenge ourselves, right? So one easy to achieve goal and one harder to achieve goal, one harder to achieve change. So we're pushing ourselves, we're stretching ourselves. Where do I want to go? What's a small change that'll help me get there? What's a harder change that'll help me get there? Are you guys all still with me? Can we all still hear me? My TikTokers, am I right side right? My YouTubers, where y'all at? Y'all quiet today. Is it because are you guys jealous now? I got another audience on here right now. Like this video right now. Let me know you guys are with me. Comment right now. Let me know you guys understand what I'm saying about past, present, and future. 3 steps we're going to walk through. And I'm going to give you guys an example here. We're going to walk through it. Who's with me so far? Okay, I say CD on here. It says, yes, I'm with you. Are we together still? We're still connected? Okay, all right. The future. Small and big. One example that I want to give you guys, because this came up with a student I was working with earlier this week, and I was like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Make the change. And we walked through this, right? And we did some other things, but we walked through this. And one of the things that they were struggling with, I'll walk it through for you guys, is that this student didn't do that. They did worse. So this student, right? So what happened, right? Their past was they got 1A, 2 C's, and 2 withdrawals. That was their process last semester. Okay? Their joy was yoga. And then we had to make future changes. So when we talked about this, they're like, yeah, I just don't know why I struggled so much this semester. I don't know why. I mean, I was taking some kind of hard classes, but, you know, I don't know what changed. And I, like, all the time I'm just sitting there, I'm just quiet. I'm just listening. I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm listening. They took these 5 classes. I said, okay, listen, what's a big change? What's a small change? Well, I just don't know what I can change. I really don't know how it could have been different. I don't know if I had some different teachers. I'm like, no, we can't change that. We've got to focus in. So the obvious change for this student, I said, was, listen, you took 5 classes and you had to withdraw from 2. Why did you withdraw? Well, you know, it was just a lot of work. Boom. It's a lot of work. In fact, it's too much work. I said, had you ever taken 5 classes before? They said, no. Normally I take 4, but my counselor told me in order to catch up so I can graduate in June, I got to take 5 this semester and 5 next semester. So I said, wait, you took 5 this semester, you had to withdraw from 2, and you're signed to take 5 more this next semester? That's a terrible idea. That's a terrible idea. So we're not going to do that. So the easy change that we said to make was we're going to decrease the number of classes we're taking. Because we were overwhelmed, overscheduled, so we're going to decrease the amount of classes, and that's the easy change. Yes? Does this make sense to everybody? It's super easy. If I go from 5 classes to 3, is that easier? Is that likely to improve our grades? Just that little easy change. Yes? We are live, y'all. I'm here for y'all. So can you guys hear me? Let me know. 3 classes. Take fewer classes. It's easy. Okay? Then we said we got to make one hard change. What's hard about your life? Well, I mean, what's hard? What's a bigger or more difficult change you can make that will also impact those grades? So what went wrong there? And so they were also speaking about how, listen, well, I'm coming up to graduation, and, you know, I'm president of this club, and I'm working on this, and I'm secretary of this club, blah, blah. And they were like in like 2 different clubs, and they were doing everything, and it was all this stuff, right? They were doing all this stuff outside of the classroom. And so I said, the hard change that I'm going to ask you to make is pick one club. The hard change. Pick one club. they're like, well, I can't drop a club. It's my senior year. I got positions in both. No. Our medical school is going to care that you were the secretary of one club and the president of another club if your grades suck? Right? If your grades suck? Yeah, we can talk about consistency. I see your question there, Jennifer. Right? And we kind of are talking about consistency right now. I'll write it down right here. Pick one club and drop one. Because if you drop one of these clubs, that immediately frees up your schedule. It frees up some of your brain power, right? It frees up some of the stress you have dealing with people, all these things. Drop one club. That'll improve your grade. And that's hard because that's a tough decision to make. Because oftentimes we choose, right, to overschedule ourselves, to put ourselves in position where we are stretched too thin, where we are put in positions and do things, right? And I said we're talking about consistency, Jennifer, because if I have all these classes and I have all these obligations and I don't get to recharge and do the fun things I like, then what am I prone for? What am I at risk for? I'll say that way. Jennifer, what are you at risk for if you're taking a whole bunch of classes? They're very difficult, so you're always having to work on that. Simultaneously, you've got 2 clubs to manage or 2 mini clubs to manage, and you're always doing that. What are you at risk for? Yes, you're at risk for failing, but that's downstream, Jennifer. What are you more at risk for directly? All right, Timothy says, I ran into the same problem. Had a difficult time seeing it. It was challenging that I was sabotaging myself. I love that, Timothy. Thank you for sharing. But what are you at risk for? If you're always working, never recharging, always overscheduled, don't have enough time for things. Come on now. What are we at risk for? I'm here, guys. I already graduated medical school. I don't need to learn how to study. I'm here for you guys. This is very important. We have to have these self-reflecting things here. Because if I say it, it's too... Thank you, Timothy. Yes, Alfonso says it. Yes. Jordan says it. That's it. We're at risk for burnout. How many of you guys feel stressed all the time? How many of you guys feel overwhelmed? How many of you guys feel like the classes and the responsibilities and obligations are overwhelming? That's burnout city, y'all. And when we feel overwhelmed, when we feel sad, when we feel low energy, when we feel like we can't get there, and we start to have a little bit of hopelessness, right? That doubt in ourselves, that we doubt we can get it done, what do we do? What do we do, guys? We procrastinate. And procrastination is doing the non-productive thing. The opposite of procrastination is productivity. And instead of being productive and moving towards our goals and doing the right things, we procrastinate. We step away from productive action. And stepping away from productive action prevents you from being consistent. So the reason you're not consistent is because you don't feel good. You don't feel in range of your goal. You don't have a plan for success. You've got too much going on. And so you procrastinate, and therefore you are not consistent. And you are not able to get at it. Does that make sense to everybody? When you're overscheduled, overwhelmed, spread too thin, you don't have the energy to be consistent. You don't have the drive, the will, right? The want to be consistent because it hurts. It feels bad. Does this make sense to everybody? Super, super important. This is where your lack of consistency comes from. And in terms of time management, it's the same premise. If I have too many classes and too many obligations, there's no possible way to make them all work in a schedule. And therefore, what happens, guys? Our time becomes a time salad where everything's jumbled together, mixed together, thrown together with no near organization and no possible way of organizing it because it's all mush, because it's too much. So the number one rule of time management is to strip away, is to simplify, is to recognize what is essential and what is non-essential and what is overkill. And for a lot of you guys, you have all these things in your life. Someone's asking about activities. We're only talking about studying, and someone's asking about volunteers and internships and activities. And that's the point, is that we have to focus on the task at hand and not everything else. And when it comes to graduate school admissions, when it comes to getting scholarships, all these things, grades are first and foremost. And before the grades, right, comes our mental well-being. Because for a lot of you guys, school is torture. For a lot of you guys, it's rough. You're not excited to study. You're not excited for the day. You're not excited to go to your classes. You're not excited for any of those things, right? You're not excited for those. So when we're not excited, we procrastinate. We're not consistent. And the result is this. Good grade, grade, no grade. The inconsistency. If your grades are inconsistent, that's a reflection of your inconsistency. Whether it's your inability to manage your time effectively or you set yourself up, you self-sabotage, like Timothy was saying earlier, by giving yourself way too much for yourself to handle. So if you want to manage time effectively, it's to start there. I see people asking me about time management resources. People asking me about scheduling. Guys, I have a course called the Procrastination Potion. It's amazing. It's all about this stuff. It's all about how we can avoid. So you guys are asking about it. If you want to overcome procrastination, I've got a great course, Procrastination Potion. Check out my website, thestudydoc.com. I've got great courses for you guys to help you with that stuff. Okay? That's it, guys. Past, present, future. What happened? Why did it happen? Can I change it? What can I do to recharge myself right now in the present? And in the future, where do I want to be? What's the easy change I can make? And what's the hard change I can make? Does that make sense to everybody? Did everybody have a good time on this talk right here, right now with Dr. Pinesett? 3 steps for a better semester. Yes, yes? Okay. If you guys want more information, if you want to continue to get better, if you want real tangible solutions and systems to fix your problems, please, guys, get to my website, thestudydoc.com, and get into a course or a coaching program. If you're on TikTok right now and like, oh, this is cool, this is great, I love this, get to my YouTube channel. The Study Doc is my YouTube channel. I have tons of videos, super long content, going into depth on things. My YouTubers, did we like the whiteboard today? Should we go back to the whiteboard? We started back with the whiteboard OG back in the day, like 5-6 years ago. Do we want to go back to the whiteboard? Do we like seeing what I'm talking about right in front of us? If you liked it, like the video right now, guys. Let me know you guys like this. If you're new to me, subscribe. If you're new on the YouTube channel, subscribe. Turn on the live notifications so you guys can always get this good stuff because we are live action, y'all. Live in the flesh right now. Morganator says, is your course free? No. But I have low price courses and I have courses that are more expensive, that are more comprehensive. But a great place to start, Morganator, is my Successful Student Mindset Makeover course. Super, super reasonable. It's actually on sale right now on my website for $16. So check that one out. All right, guys, I'm so glad we were here today. Everybody having a good day on this Sunday? A better day than the Colts, who lost and now are out of the playoffs. Busters, and I was excited to see them run the ball down people's throats, but they're out. So, all right, guys. Everybody, thank you guys so much for joining me. You guys know what's up. My YouTubers, I appreciate y'all. My TikTokers, welcome. This is new to me being on TikTok. But what you can expect from me is education, y'all. Education first and foremost, guys. Bring you guys education, energy, helping you guys get to your goals, because that's what it's about. It's about succeeding, right? It's about getting ahead. It's about reaching your goals, guys. So thank you guys so much. My YouTubers, we're out of here. What I teach you guys is transformation. If you didn't dominate, changes need to be made. So I give you guys entire systems that make you new. But stop making excuses, stop whining, stop, right? Get at it. No excuses, just dominate.